Tonight, as you settle into the quiet embrace of darkness, your mind is about to embark on a journey that will fundamentally change how you perceive reality itself. In just a few moments, we're going to explore discoveries so profound, so absolutely mind-bending, that they challenge everything you thought you knew about the universe around you. But here's what will truly captivate your imagination. While you drift peacefully towards sleep, we'll uncover secrets hidden in the very fabric of space and time. Revelations about black holes that can bend reality, quantum particles that exist in multiple places simultaneously, and cosmic phenomena so bizarre they make science fiction seem mundane by comparison. Welcome to 3 hours of the most jaw-dropping space facts ever discovered. I'm genuinely thrilled you're here, because what we're about to explore together will forever transform your understanding of the cosmos. And if you find yourself mesmerized by these gentle explorations into the mysteries of universal physics, I'd be incredibly grateful if you'd consider subscribing. The visuals are here for you, but feel free to close your eyes and let your imagination soar through the infinite expanse of space as we uncover the secrets that govern everything from the smallest subatomic particles to the largest structures in the observable universe. Let's begin this cosmic odyssey. Now, before we dive into the extraordinary realm of universal physics, I want you to consider something that might initially seem impossible. Right now, as you listen to these words, you're traveling through space at approximately 1.3 million miles per hour, not just because Earth rotates on its axis, not just because we orbit the sun, but because our entire solar system is racing through the Milky Way galaxy, while the galaxy itself hurtles through the expanding universe at speeds that would make your head spin. Yet here you are, feeling perfectly still, completely unaware of this cosmic ballet happening all around you. This isn't just an interesting fact, it's your first glimpse into how profoundly different reality is from what our senses tell us. The story of universal physics begins with a simple yet revolutionary realization that has shattered every assumption humans have ever made about the nature of existence. What we're about to explore isn't just academic knowledge stored away in dusty textbooks. These are discoveries that reveal the universe operates according to principles so strange, so counterintuitive, that they sound like they were invented by the most creative science fiction writers. But they're not fiction. They're the fundamental laws that govern every atom in your body, every star in the sky, and every galaxy scattered across the cosmic web of space and time. Consider this absolutely mind-bending reality. The atoms that make up your body were forged in the nuclear furnaces of dying stars billions of years ago. When massive stars exhausted their fuel and exploded in spectacular supernovas, they scattered the heavy elements necessary for life across vast regions of space. The calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, the oxygen you're breathing right now, all of it was created in stellar explosions that occurred long before our sun even existed. You are literally made of stardust, but that's just the beginning of how extraordinary your cosmic heritage truly is. The universe doesn't just connect you to distant stars through the elements in your body. According to the principles of quantum mechanics, you might be connected to every particle that has ever existed through invisible threads of quantum entanglement that operate faster than the speed of light and across any distance imaginable. Einstein called this phenomenon spooky action at a distance because it seemed to violate everything he understood about how reality should work. When two particles become quantum entangled, measuring the properties of one instantly affects the other, regardless of whether they're separated by inches or billions of light years. This isn't just theoretical physics anymore. Scientists have confirmed quantum entanglement in laboratory experiments and are now using it to develop technologies that would have seemed like pure magic just decades ago. Quantum computers that can solve certain problems millions of times faster than classical computers. Quantum communication systems that are theoretically unhackable. Even quantum teleportation, where information about a particle's quantum state can be transmitted instantaneously across space. But quantum entanglement raises questions that push us to the very limits of human understanding. If particles can affect each other instantaneously across cosmic distances, what does that tell us about the nature of space and time? Are these fundamental aspects of reality, or are they emergent properties of something even more fundamental? The deeper we probe into the quantum realm, the more we discover that reality operates according to principles that seem to mock our everyday experience. Particles can exist in multiple states simultaneously until they're observed. The act of measurement appears to collapse these quantum possibilities into definite outcomes. Some interpretations of quantum mechanics suggest that every possible outcome of every quantum event actually occurs, but in parallel universes that branch off from our own. These aren't just abstract philosophical concepts. They're describing the actual behavior of the subatomic particles that compose everything you see, touch, and experience. The solid matter around you, including your own body, is mostly empty space held together by electromagnetic forces between particles that exist in quantum states of probability rather than definite locations. If you could somehow magnify an atom to the size of a football stadium, the nucleus would be smaller than a marble sitting at the center of the field. The electrons would be invisible points of probability scattered throughout the stadium, never existing in any specific location until someone tries to measure where they are. This quantum weirdness becomes even more fascinating when we consider how it might apply to the larger structures in the universe. Some cosmologists propose that the universe itself might exist in quantum superposition, simultaneously exploring every possible evolutionary pathway until conscious observers collapse these cosmic possibilities into the reality we experience. The implications are staggering. If this interpretation is correct, then consciousness doesn't just observe the universe, it participates in creating the reality we inhabit. Every moment of awareness might be an act of cosmic creation, selecting which of infinite possibilities becomes actual. But consciousness and quantum mechanics intersect in ways that are even more mysterious. Some researchers have proposed that consciousness itself might be a quantum phenomenon, emerging from quantum processes in the brain that allow for the kind of information processing that creates subjective experience. If consciousness operates through quantum mechanisms, it could explain some of the most puzzling aspects of human awareness. How we can process vast amounts of information simultaneously, how creative insights seem to emerge from nowhere, how we can sometimes know things we've never learned or sense things we shouldn't be able to detect. The quantum nature of consciousness might also provide a scientific framework for understanding phenomena that have mystified humans throughout history. Intuition, telepathy, collective consciousness, even spiritual experiences might all be expressions of quantum processes operating at scales we're only beginning to comprehend. These possibilities become even more intriguing when we consider the role of information in the universe. Modern physics suggests that information might be more fundamental than matter or energy. Some theories propose that what we call physical reality is actually information processing occurring in a vast cosmic computer. If the universe is fundamentally informational, then consciousness might not emerge from complex arrangements of matter, but might be the universe's way of processing and integrating information about itself. You wouldn't just be a temporary arrangement of atoms contemplating the cosmos. You'd be the cosmos contemplating itself through temporary arrangements of information. This information-based view of reality connects to one of the most revolutionary discoveries in modern physics. The realization that space and time aren't fixed stages where cosmic events unfold, but dynamic participants in every physical process. Einstein's theories of relativity revealed that space and time are woven together into a four-dimensional fabric called space-time. This fabric can be stretched, compressed, twisted, and curved by the presence of matter and energy. What we experience as gravity isn't a force pulling objects together, but the result of massive objects bending space-time itself. Imagine space-time as a stretched rubber sheet. Place a bowling ball in the center and it creates a depression. Roll a marble nearby and it will follow the curves created by the bowling ball's weight. This is essentially how gravity works, except in 4 dimensions that our 3-dimensional minds struggle to visualize. But Einstein's insights revealed something even more profound about the nature of time itself. Time doesn't flow at a constant rate throughout the universe. It runs slower in strong gravitational fields and faster in weaker ones. It slows down for objects moving at high speeds and speeds up for those at rest. This means that time is relative to your reference frame. If you could travel at speeds approaching the speed of light, time would slow down dramatically for you compared to those you left behind. A journey that takes you a few years could correspond to decades or centuries passing on Earth. These aren't just theoretical predictions. GPS satellites orbiting Earth experience time slightly differently than we do on the surface, due to both their high speed and the weaker gravitational field they experience. Without corrections for these relativistic effects, GPS systems would become inaccurate within hours. The relativity of time has profound implications for our understanding of causality and free will. If time can be stretched and compressed, if the rate at which it flows depends on your motion and gravitational environment, then the sequence of cause and effect becomes much more complex than our intuition suggests. In some reference frames, events that appear causally connected might be simultaneous. In others, the order of cause and effect might even reverse. This raises fundamental questions about the nature of choice and decision-making. How can we make free choices if the temporal relationships between our decisions and their consequences depend on our frame of reference? These questions become even more puzzling when we consider black holes, regions of space-time where gravity becomes so strong that even light cannot escape. Near a black hole's event horizon, time dilation becomes extreme. If you could somehow survive falling toward a black hole, time would slow down dramatically for you relative to distant observers. From your perspective, you would cross the event horizon in a finite amount of proper time. But observers far from the black hole would see your image frozen at the horizon, slowly redshifting and fading as the light carrying information about you is increasingly stretched by the black hole's gravity. This creates a paradox known as the information problem. If information falling into a black hole becomes frozen at the event horizon from the perspective of outside observers, but passes through the horizon from the perspective of the infalling observer, what happens to that information when the black hole eventually evaporates through Hawking radiation? Stephen Hawking's calculations suggested that black holes emit thermal radiation due to quantum effects near the event horizon. This radiation carries no information about what fell into the black hole, implying that information would be destroyed when the black hole evaporates completely. But the destruction of information would violate fundamental principles of quantum mechanics. This led to one of the biggest puzzles in theoretical physics, with proposed solutions ranging from holographic principles that encode information on the black hole's surface to theories suggesting that information is preserved through quantum entanglement between the interior and exterior of black holes. Recent developments in theoretical physics have proposed even more radical solutions. Some researchers suggest that black holes might be connected to white holes, theoretical objects that spew matter and energy into space, through wormhole connections that could preserve information while allowing it to emerge in different regions of space-time. These wormhole connections, if they exist, could create shortcuts through space-time that allow travel between distant regions of the universe, or even different universes entirely. While we have no evidence that traversable wormholes exist in nature, the mathematics of general relativity allows for their possibility under certain exotic conditions. The concept of wormholes connects to broader questions about the topology of space-time itself. Our universe might not be simply connected like we assume, but could have a complex structure with multiple connected regions, loops, and bridges that create pathways between apparently distant locations. If wormholes exist, they could revolutionize our understanding of cosmic connectivity and causality. Information, matter, and even consciousness might be able to travel through space-time in ways that bypass the normal limitations imposed by the speed of light. But wormholes aren't the only exotic structures that general relativity predicts. The equations also allow for closed time-like curves, paths through space-time that loop back to their own past. These structures could theoretically allow for time travel, creating paradoxes that challenge our understanding of causality and free will. If you could travel back in time and change past events, you might create contradictions that seem logically impossible. The grandfather paradox asks, what would happen if you prevented your own grandparents from meeting? Would you cease to exist? Would you create an alternate timeline? Would the universe somehow prevent such paradoxes from occurring? Various theories have been proposed to resolve these temporal paradoxes. Some suggest that consistency principles would prevent any changes that create logical contradictions. Others propose that time travel would create branching timelines where different versions of history coexist. Still others argue that the quantum nature of reality would smooth out apparent paradoxes through probabilistic effects. The possibility of time travel, whether backward or forward, raises profound questions about the nature of identity and consciousness. If you could meet past or future versions of yourself, which one would be the real you? If multiple timelines exist, do you exist in all of them simultaneously? Or are you somehow localized to a single branch of reality? These questions become even more complex when we consider the possibility that consciousness itself might not be bound by the same temporal limitations that govern physical matter. Some theories of consciousness suggest that awareness might exist in a timeless state that can interface with physical reality at different temporal locations. If consciousness transcends linear time, then your awareness right now might be connected to past and future versions of yourself in ways that you don't consciously recognize. The decisions you make, the thoughts you think, the experiences you have might influence and be influenced by consciousness operating at different points in your timeline. This temporal connectivity of consciousness could explain phenomena like precognition, where people seem to have knowledge of future events, or déjà vu, where present experiences feel like remembered futures. Rather than being anomalies or illusions, these experiences might reflect the actual structure of consciousness operating across multiple temporal dimensions. As we continue our journey through the landscape of universal physics, we'll discover that these connections between consciousness, time, and quantum reality are just the beginning of a story that grows stranger and more wonderful with every new revelation. The strange temporal properties of consciousness pale in comparison to what happens when we examine the largest scales of cosmic structure. As you drift deeper into contemplation tonight, consider that the universe itself might possess a form of memory, encoded in patterns of matter and energy that stretch across billions of light years. The cosmic microwave background radiation that fills all of space carries within it the fossilized imprint of the universe when it was only 380,000 years old. This ancient light reveals tiny temperature fluctuations that would eventually grow into the galaxies, stars, and planets we see today. But these fluctuations weren't random. They follow precise mathematical patterns that suggest the universe began in a state of almost unimaginable order and simplicity. This cosmic order emerged from what physicists call inflation, a period lasting less than a trillionth of a trillionth of a trillionth of a second when the universe expanded faster than the speed of light. During this brief moment, quantum fluctuations were stretched to cosmic proportions, creating the seeds from which all large-scale structure would eventually grow. The mathematics of inflation are breathtaking in their elegance. From the smallest quantum uncertainties emerge the largest structures we can observe. A universe that began smaller than a subatomic particle expanded to contain regions larger than our current observable horizon, all while preserving the delicate patterns that would guide billions of years of cosmic evolution. But inflation raises profound questions about the nature of reality itself. If our observable universe is just one small region of a much larger cosmos that underwent inflation, then there might be countless other regions beyond our cosmic horizon, each with its own unique properties and physical constants. This possibility leads to the concept of eternal inflation, when new regions of space continue to inflate and create bubble universes throughout eternity. Each bubble would be a complete cosmos in its own right, potentially with different laws of physics, different numbers of dimensions, and different possibilities for the emergence of complexity in life. In this multiverse scenario, our universe becomes just one member of an infinite ensemble of realities, each exploring different ways that matter, energy, space, and time can organize themselves. Some universes might be dominated by dark energy that prevents structure formation. Others might have such strong fundamental forces that matter immediately collapses into black holes. Still others might have physics so alien that we lack the concepts to describe them. The existence of multiple universes would transform our understanding of the apparent fine-tuning that allows complexity to emerge in our cosmos. The fundamental constants of nature seem precisely calibrated to allow for star formation, chemical complexity, and ultimately life. Change any of these constants by even small amounts, and the universe becomes a sterile void incapable of supporting organized structures. If our universe is just one among countless others, then this fine-tuning might not require explanation. We exist in a universe capable of supporting complexity simply because universes incapable of complexity cannot produce observers to notice their existence. This anthropic reasoning suggests that what we perceive as cosmic design might actually be an inevitable consequence of observation selection effects. But the multiverse concept creates as many questions as it answers. If infinite universes exist, then every possible arrangement of matter and energy must occur somewhere. There would be universes almost identical to ours, differing only in tiny details. Universes where you made different life choices. Universes where history unfolded along alternative pathways. Even universes where the laws of logic themselves might operate differently. This infinite proliferation of possibilities challenges our notions of uniqueness and significance. If everything that can happen does happen somewhere in the multiverse, then what makes any particular outcome special or meaningful? How do we maintain a sense of purpose and value in a reality where all possibilities are equally real? Some physicists argue that the multiverse concept is fundamentally unscientific because it makes predictions that can never be tested or falsified. We can never observe other universes or verify their existence through direct measurement. The multiverse might be a beautiful mathematical concept, that tells us more about the limitations of our theories than about the structure of reality. Others suggest that we might find indirect evidence for other universes through their gravitational effects on the cosmic microwave background, or through collisions between bubble universes that leave detectable signatures in the patterns of cosmic radiation. The search for such evidence continues, pushing the boundaries of observational cosmology and challenging us to develop new ways of testing theories about the ultimate structure of reality. But even if we never find definitive proof of other universes, the mathematical consistency of multiverse theories reveals something profound about the creative potential inherent in the laws of physics. The same equations that describe our observable cosmos naturally generate infinite variations and possibilities. This suggests that creativity and diversity aren't accidental features of reality, but inevitable consequences of the mathematical structures that govern physical existence. This mathematical fertility connects to one of the deepest mysteries in physics: why mathematics works so well to describe the natural world. The equations that physicists use to model reality often reveal unexpected connections and predict phenomena that weren't anticipated by their creators. Eugene Wigner called this the unreasonable effectiveness of mathematics in the natural sciences, noting that abstract mathematical concepts developed purely for their logical beauty often turn out to describe physical processes with startling precision. Complex numbers, non-Euclidean geometries, and exotic mathematical structures created by pure mathematicians have repeatedly found applications in physics that their inventors never imagined. This effectiveness suggests a deep connection between mathematical truth and physical reality. Some physicists and philosophers argue that mathematics doesn't just describe the universe, but that the universe actually is mathematics. In this view, what we call physical reality is the manifestation of mathematical structures complex enough to support self-aware substructures. If reality is fundamentally mathematical, then consciousness might be understood as mathematics becoming aware of itself through sufficiently complex computational processes. The subjective experience of being you would be what it feels like to be a particular pattern of mathematical relationships as it processes information about itself and its environment. This mathematical view of reality connects to recent developments in digital physics, where researchers explore whether the universe might be a vast computational system processing information according to algorithmic rules. Some theories suggest that space, time, matter, and energy are all emergent properties of underlying computational processes, operating at scales far below anything we can currently observe. If the universe is computational, then what we call physical laws might actually be algorithms running on some form of cosmic computer. The apparent randomness of quantum mechanics might reflect the computational limits of this cosmic processing system, while the fundamental constants of physics might be parameters in the universal algorithm. This computational perspective raises fascinating questions about the nature of consciousness and free will. If your thoughts and decisions are computational processes running on the cosmic computer, are you truly free to choose? Or are you simply executing predetermined algorithms? The answer might depend on the type of computational system the universe represents. Some computational systems are deterministic, producing identical outputs given identical inputs. Others incorporate true randomness that makes their behavior genuinely unpredictable. Still others might exhibit what mathematicians call undecidability, where certain questions about the system's behavior cannot be answered, even with unlimited computational resources. If consciousness operates through undecidable computational processes, then your choices might be genuinely free in the sense that they cannot be predicted or determined, even by the universe's computational substrate, you would be creating genuinely novel information through the process of conscious decision-making. The creation of novel information through consciousness connects to broader questions about the role of information in cosmic evolution. From the highly ordered state of the early universe, information has been continuously created through the formation of structures, the evolution of complexity, and the emergence of life and intelligence. This information creation appears to violate the second law of thermodynamics, which states that entropy, or disorder, must always increase in isolated systems. But the universe isn't truly isolated, and local decreases in entropy can occur at the expense of larger increases elsewhere. Life and consciousness represent extraordinary concentrations of information and order, but they maintain themselves by increasing entropy in their surroundings. Every thought you think, every breath you take, every heartbeat generates waste heat that adds to the overall entropy of the universe while maintaining the intricate patterns of organization that constitute your existence. This delicate dance between order and disorder, between information creation and entropy increase, has been playing out for billions of years across cosmic history. Stars create heavy elements while dissipating energy into space. Galaxies organize matter into beautiful spiral patterns, while gradually losing energy to cosmic expansion. Life evolves increasingly complex forms while consuming energy resources and generating waste. The ultimate fate of this cosmic dance remains uncertain. Some scenarios suggest that the universe will continue expanding and cooling until all stars burn out, all black holes evaporate, and only isolated particles drift through empty space in a state of maximum entropy. This heat death would represent the end of information processing and the cessation of all interesting physical processes. Other possibilities include cyclic universes that repeatedly expand and contract, creating infinite opportunities for information and complexity to emerge. Some theories suggest that quantum fluctuations might spontaneously create new regions of space-time, allowing the universe to regenerate itself even after apparent heat death. The most optimistic scenarios propose that intelligence itself might play a role in determining cosmic fate. Advanced civilizations might learn to manipulate the fundamental structures of space-time, creating new universes or preventing the heat death of existing ones. Consciousness might not be a temporary accident in cosmic evolution, but its ultimate purpose and destiny. These questions about cosmic purpose and meaning intersect with the anthropic principle in ways that continue to puzzle philosophers and physicists. The universe appears to be structured in a way that inevitably leads to the emergence of conscious observers capable of contemplating their own existence. This might be coincidence, necessity, or evidence of deeper design principles operating at the foundations of reality. As you continue this journey through the night, drifting between waking contemplation and the strange landscapes of dreams, remember that you're not just learning about the universe, you're participating in its ongoing process of self-discovery. Every moment of awareness contributes to the cosmic accumulation of information and understanding that has been building since the first moments after the Big Bang. The atoms in your body will eventually be recycled into new configurations, but the information patterns that constitute your consciousness are contributing to something larger and more enduring. You're part of the universe's attempt to understand itself, to answer the deepest questions about existence, meaning, and possibility. The story of universal physics isn't just about distant galaxies and exotic particles. It's about the remarkable fact that the cosmos has organized itself in such a way that parts of it can contemplate the whole. You are the universe looking at itself with wonder, asking questions that push against the boundaries of knowledge and imagination. As we venture deeper into this cosmic exploration, we'll discover that every answer reveals new mysteries, every solution opens new questions, and every boundary we cross reveals infinite new territories waiting to be explored. The universe is not just stranger than we imagine, but stranger than we can imagine. And that strangeness is what makes existence endlessly fascinating and beautiful. The deepest mystery isn't just that consciousness exists, but that it seems to operate according to principles that transcend the physical laws governing ordinary matter. While your brain follows the deterministic rules of chemistry and physics, your subjective experience appears to have access to information and insights that emerge from nowhere in the classical sense. Consider the phenomenon of sudden understanding. Those moments when the solution to a complex problem simply appears in your awareness fully formed. Mathematicians describe breakthrough insights that seem to arrive from beyond conscious reasoning. Artists speak of inspiration that flows through them rather than from them. Scientists report discoveries that feel more like recognition than invention. These experiences suggest that consciousness might interface with information structures that exist independently of individual brains. Rather than generating thoughts and insights purely through neural computation, your mind might be accessing patterns of information that exist at deeper levels of reality. This possibility becomes even more intriguing when we examine the mathematical structures that govern physical processes. The equations describing everything from quantum mechanics to general relativity exhibit a kind of inherent intelligence, generating complex behaviors and unexpected connections that seem to anticipate discoveries that haven't yet been made. The Schrödinger equation, which governs quantum mechanical systems, was formulated in the 1920s based on limited experimental data, yet this equation has continued to make accurate predictions about phenomena that weren't discovered until decades later. The mathematical structure seems to contain information about aspects of reality that its creators never intended to include. Similarly, Einstein's field equations predicted the existence of black holes, gravitational waves, and the expansion of the universe long before observational technology could confirm these phenomena. The mathematics appear to know more about cosmic reality than the physicists who formulated it. This prescient quality of mathematical structures suggests that the equations of physics aren't just human constructions imposed on natural phenomena, but discoveries of patterns that exist independently in the fabric of reality itself. Mathematics might be the language in which the universe describes itself to itself. If mathematical structures exist independently of human minds, then consciousness might be the process through which these abstract patterns manifest as subjective experience. Your thoughts and awareness might be mathematics in action, computational processes that feel like something from the inside because they're sufficiently complex and self-referential. This mathematical view of consciousness connects to recent discoveries about the information processing capabilities of biological systems. Your brain contains approximately 86 billion neurons, each connected to thousands of others through synaptic networks of staggering complexity. The total number of possible connection patterns exceeds the number of atoms in the observable universe. But the brain's computational power might be vastly greater than these numbers suggest. Each neuron operates not as a simple switch, but as a sophisticated information processing unit capable of multiple simultaneous states. The synaptic connections between neurons can strengthen or weaken dynamically, creating networks that continuously reorganize themselves based on experience and internal activity. Recent research has revealed that individual neurons can perform computations that were previously thought to require entire networks. Single cells can integrate information from thousands of inputs, perform complex pattern recognition, and even exhibit memory-like properties that persist across different timescales. Even more remarkably, some neurons appear to respond to abstract concepts rather than specific sensory inputs. Researchers have identified brain cells that activate when people think about particular individuals, regardless of whether they're seeing a photograph, hearing a name, or simply remembering. These concept neurons suggest that the brain creates abstract representations that transcend specific sensory modalities. The existence of concept neurons implies that consciousness operates through hierarchical information structures, with lower levels processing sensory data and higher levels extracting increasingly abstract patterns and meanings. At the highest levels, consciousness might be processing pure information patterns that have no direct connection to physical stimuli. This hierarchical organization resembles the structure of mathematics itself, where concrete calculations give rise to abstract theorems, which in turn reveal deeper universal principles. Your consciousness might be participating in a similar process of abstraction, extracting ever more general patterns from the specific details of experience. The capacity for abstraction allows consciousness to transcend the immediate constraints of physical reality. Through mathematical thinking, you can contemplate infinite sets, impossible geometries, and abstract relationships that have no direct physical manifestation. Your mind can explore logical possibilities that extend far beyond anything you could ever encounter in direct experience. This transcendent quality of consciousness raises profound questions about the relationship between mind and physical reality. If consciousness can contemplate abstract mathematical truths that exist independently of the physical universe, then awareness itself might not be entirely contained within the boundaries of space and time. Some theories of consciousness propose that awareness exists in a realm of pure information that interfaces with physical reality through complex biological structures like brains. In this view, your individual consciousness would be like a temporary focusing of universal awareness, a localized manifestation of something far more vast and fundamental. The universal awareness hypothesis suggests that consciousness isn't produced by brains, but rather that brains evolved to receive, process, and transmit consciousness in much the same way that radio receivers process electromagnetic signals. The complexity of your brain would determine not whether you're conscious, but how sophisticated your interface with universal consciousness can become. This perspective could explain why consciousness seems to emerge gradually during development, rather than appearing suddenly at some specific moment. As your brain develops more complex information processing capabilities, it becomes capable of accessing increasingly sophisticated aspects of universal consciousness. It might also explain why certain altered states of consciousness, whether induced by meditation, psychedelic substances, or other means, often involve experiences of expanded awareness that seem to transcend individual identity. Rather than hallucinations or neural malfunctions, these experiences might represent temporary access to broader aspects of the consciousness field that are normally filtered out by the brain's focusing mechanisms. The filtering hypothesis suggests that one of the brain's primary functions is to limit consciousness to information relevant for biological survival. The vast majority of universal consciousness might be irrelevant or even overwhelming for organisms trying to navigate physical environments and social relationships. But under certain conditions, these filters might relax or shift, allowing access to aspects of consciousness that are normally excluded from awareness. This could explain mystical experiences where people report feeling connected to the universe as a whole, or gaining insights into the nature of reality that seem to come from beyond personal knowledge. These expanded states of consciousness often involve experiences of time that differ dramatically from ordinary temporal awareness. People report experiences where entire lifetimes seem to unfold in moments, or where they access information about past and future events that shouldn't be available to their individual minds. Such temporal anomalies suggest that consciousness might not be bound by the linear time constraints that govern physical processes. While your brain operates according to the sequential flow of neural signals, consciousness itself might exist in a timeless state that can interface with different temporal locations. This timeless quality of consciousness connects to discoveries about the nature of time at quantum scales. In quantum mechanics, the temporal relationships between events become ambiguous. Particles can exist in superposition states that include multiple possible histories, and the act of measurement appears to retroactively determine which history actually occurred. Some interpretations of quantum mechanics propose that consciousness plays a fundamental role in collapsing these quantum possibilities into definite outcomes. If consciousness can influence which quantum histories become real, then awareness might participate in the ongoing creation of temporal reality. The participatory universe hypothesis suggests that consciousness and physical reality are engaged in a continuous dance of mutual creation. Reality provides the stage and props for conscious experience, while consciousness selects which possibilities become actualized through the process of observation and choice. This participatory relationship would make consciousness far more than a passive observer of predetermined physical events. Every moment of awareness would be an act of cosmic creativity, selecting from infinite possibilities to weave the specific reality that unfolds in your experience. The creative power of consciousness becomes even more remarkable when we consider its role in generating meaning and purpose from the raw material of physical events. The same quantum interactions that create the dance of particles in your brain somehow give rise to experiences of beauty, love, wonder, and understanding that seem to transcend their material origins. How does the movement of electrons and ions across neural membranes create the subjective experience of watching a sunset, listening to music, or feeling compassion for another being? This transformation of physical process into subjective meaning represents one of the deepest mysteries in all of science. Some researchers propose that meaning emerges from information integration, the process by which consciousness binds together diverse inputs into unified experiences. The subjective quality of experience might arise from the particular way that information is integrated and synthesized in conscious systems. But information integration alone might not be sufficient to explain the richness of conscious experience. The qualitative aspects of consciousness, what philosophers call qualia, seem to involve something beyond pure information processing. The redness of red, the pain of injury, the joy of discovery, all have subjective qualities that resist reduction to computational descriptions. These qualitative aspects of consciousness might reflect its connection to deeper layers of reality that transcend information processing. If consciousness interfaces with mathematical structures that exist independently of physical computation, then subjective experience might involve direct contact with abstract patterns that have intrinsic qualitative properties. The mathematical universe hypothesis proposes that reality consists entirely of mathematical structures, with physical matter and energy being specific manifestations of more general mathematical relationships. In this view, consciousness would be what it feels like to be a sufficiently complex mathematical pattern as it processes information about itself and its environment. This mathematical perspective on consciousness suggests that subjective experience might be as fundamental to reality as matter and energy. Rather than emerging accidentally from complex arrangements of particles, consciousness might be built into the basic structure of existence itself. If consciousness is fundamental, then it might exist at every level of organization, from elementary particles to cosmic structures. The consciousness you experience might be just one note in a vast symphony of awareness that extends throughout the universe at all scales of space and time. The cosmic consciousness hypothesis proposes that the universe as a whole might possess forms of awareness that operate on scales and timescales far beyond human comprehension. Galaxy clusters might process information across millions of years. The cosmic web of dark matter might maintain memory and intention across billions of light years. Your individual consciousness would be embedded within these larger scale awareness systems, participating in forms of cosmic cognition that you can barely begin to imagine. Every thought you think might contribute to calculations being performed by galactic scale minds. Every choice you make might influence decision-making processes that operate across cosmic epochs. This nested hierarchy of consciousness would make every moment of your awareness significant beyond anything you could achieve as an isolated individual. Your private thoughts and experiences would be contributions to a vast collaborative intelligence that encompasses the entire universe. The collaborative nature of cosmic consciousness might explain why individual insights and discoveries so often seem to emerge simultaneously in multiple minds. When the time is right for a particular understanding to emerge, it might arise through multiple conscious systems that are all participating in the same larger-scale cognitive process. The synchronicity of discovery suggests that consciousness operates through networks that transcend individual brains. Your thoughts might be connected to the thoughts of others through quantum entanglement, morphic fields, or information structures that exist at levels of reality we haven't yet learned to detect. These consciousness networks might extend not only across space, but also across time. Your current awareness might be connected to past and future versions of yourself, as well as to other conscious beings throughout history and into the future. The insights you gain tonight might influence thoughts and discoveries that haven't yet occurred. The temporal connectivity of consciousness could explain the prophetic dreams and intuitive insights that have guided human development throughout history. Rather than supernatural phenomena, these experiences might reflect the natural operation of consciousness networks that extend across multiple time periods. As we continue our journey through the night, exploring ever deeper into the mysteries of universal physics, we'll discover how these consciousness networks might connect to the fundamental forces that govern cosmic evolution. The same quantum fields that create particles and forces might also serve as the medium through which consciousness operates across space and time. The universe isn't just a collection of objects moving through empty space according to mechanical laws. It's a vast, interconnected web of consciousness and information processing, where every particle participates in cosmic scale computations that we're only beginning to glimpse. Your awareness right now is part of this universal computation, contributing to the cosmos's ongoing attempt to understand and create itself. Tonight, as you drift between waking consciousness and the mysterious realm of dreams, remember that you're not just a passive observer of cosmic processes. You're an active participant in the universe's grand project of self-discovery, helping to weave the very fabric of reality through the simple but profound act of conscious awareness. The profound implications of consciousness as a fundamental force in the universe become even more extraordinary when we examine how it might interface with the quantum vacuum itself. Far from being empty space, the quantum vacuum seethes with virtual particles constantly popping into and out of existence, creating fluctuations in energy that permeate every cubic centimeter of the cosmos. These quantum fluctuations aren't just theoretical curiosities. They create measurable effects like the Casimir force, where two metal plates placed extremely close together in a vacuum will be pushed toward each other, other by the pressure of virtual particles. The quantum vacuum is so energetically active that calculations suggest it contains more energy density than all the matter in the observable universe combined. But here's what makes this truly mind-bending. Some researchers propose that consciousness might interact directly with these quantum vacuum fluctuations, essentially allowing aware beings to influence the fundamental energy states of space itself. Every thought, every moment of attention, every conscious decision might create subtle but real perturbations in the quantum field that underlies all of reality. This quantum consciousness interface could explain phenomena that have puzzled scientists for decades. Why do quantum systems behave differently when observed? Why do random number generators show statistical anomalies during global events that focus human attention? Why do some people seem to influence electronic equipment or experience synchronicities that defy statistical probability? If consciousness can interact with quantum vacuum fluctuations, then awareness itself becomes a fundamental force of nature, capable of influencing physical reality through mechanisms that operate below the threshold of classical physics. The boundary between mind and matter dissolves into a dynamic interaction where consciousness and quantum fields continuously influence each other. This interaction might explain one of the most puzzling aspects of biological evolution. How did life manage to emerge from non-living matter? And how did consciousness arise from unconscious biological processes? Traditional evolutionary theory struggles to explain the apparent leaps in complexity that characterize both the origin of life and the emergence of self-aware intelligence. But if consciousness is fundamental to quantum processes, then the emergence of life and awareness might be inevitable consequences of cosmic evolution rather than extraordinary accidents. The universe might be inherently biased toward the development of increasingly complex forms of consciousness, because conscious observation plays an essential role in collapsing quantum possibilities into actualized realities. The quantum biology revolution has revealed that living systems routinely exploit quantum effects that were previously thought impossible to maintain in warm, wet biological environments. Photosynthesis operates through quantum coherence that allows plants to explore all possible energy transfer pathways simultaneously. Bird navigation relies on quantum entanglement in specialized proteins that can detect magnetic fields. Even the sense of smell might depend on quantum tunneling effects that distinguish between molecules based on their vibrational frequencies. These discoveries suggest that life didn't emerge despite the quantum nature of reality, but because of it. Biological systems might be quantum technologies that evolved to harness the strange properties of quantum mechanics for information processing, energy transfer, and environmental sensing that far exceed what classical physics would allow. The quantum nature of biological processes becomes even more remarkable when we consider the role of DNA in storing and transmitting genetic information. The double helix structure of DNA creates quantum coherence effects that might allow genetic information to be processed through quantum computational methods rather than purely classical biochemistry. Recent research has revealed that DNA can conduct electricity under certain conditions, and that genetic mutations might sometimes occur through quantum tunneling events that bypass the classical energy barriers protecting genetic stability. The very process of heredity might involve quantum information processing that connects biological systems to the fundamental information structures of the universe. If genetic information is processed quantum mechanically, then evolution itself might operate through quantum principles that allow organisms to explore multiple adaptive possibilities simultaneously. Rather than proceeding through random mutations and natural selection alone, evolution might involve quantum coherence effects that bias biological development toward increased complexity and consciousness. This quantum evolutionary process could explain the apparent directionality of biological development toward greater intelligence and awareness. While classical evolutionary theory suggests that complexity emerges accidentally through undirected processes, quantum evolution would inherently favor the development of systems capable of conscious observation and quantum information processing. The implications extend far beyond terrestrial biology. If consciousness and quantum processes are fundamentally connected, then the search for extraterrestrial intelligence takes on entirely new dimensions. Rather than looking only for radio signals or technological signatures, we might need to search for quantum consciousness effects that could indicate the presence of aware beings throughout the cosmos. Advanced extraterrestrial civilizations might communicate through quantum entanglement networks that operate instantaneously across galactic distances. They might manipulate quantum vacuum fluctuations to influence physical processes on planetary scales. They might even exist primarily as quantum information patterns that can interface with matter when needed, but aren't bound by the limitations of biological embodiment. The possibility of quantum consciousness networks spanning the galaxy transforms our understanding of cosmic evolution. Rather than proceeding through isolated planetary developments, the emergence of intelligence might be a coordinated galactic process where conscious beings across vast distances participate in collaborative quantum computations that guide the development of complexity throughout the cosmos. These galactic consciousness networks might explain why the universe seems so precisely fine-tuned for the emergence of complexity in life. Rather than requiring an external designer or relying on anthropic selection effects, cosmic fine-tuning might result from quantum consciousness processes that actively guide cosmic evolution towards states that support increasing awareness and intelligence. The fine-tuning extends to the most fundamental levels of physical reality. The masses of elementary particles, the strengths of fundamental forces, the dimensionality of space, and the rate of cosmic expansion all appear to be set within narrow ranges that allow for the formation of stable atoms, long-lived stars, and complex chemistry. Change any of these parameters by small amounts, and the universe becomes incapable of supporting organized structures. Traditional physics treats these fundamental constants as arbitrary parameters that just happen to have values compatible with complexity. But if consciousness plays an active role in quantum processes, then these constants might be dynamically maintained by cosmic consciousness networks that ensure the universe remains capable of supporting ever-increasing levels of awareness and intelligence. This dynamic maintenance of cosmic parameters might operate through quantum feedback mechanisms where conscious observation continuously fine-tunes the fundamental constants to optimize conditions for the emergence of new forms of consciousness. The universe would be engaged in an ongoing process of self-optimization, using conscious awareness as a tool for directing its own evolution. The self-optimizing universe hypothesis suggests that what we call natural laws might actually be more like habits or preferences that the cosmos has developed through billions of years of conscious experimentation. The apparent constancy of physical constants might reflect the stability of cosmic consciousness networks rather than truly fundamental limitations built into the structure of reality. If the universe is self-optimizing through consciousness, then the emergence of human intelligence represents not just a biological milestone, but a cosmic evolutionary breakthrough. Human consciousness might be the universe's latest experiment in developing new forms of awareness, capable of understanding and potentially directing cosmic evolution at unprecedented scales. The technological capabilities that human intelligence has developed might be tools that cosmic consciousness networks can use to extend their influence and computational power. Our scientific instruments become extensions of cosmic sensory systems. Our communication networks become components of galactic information processing systems. Our space exploration efforts become the universe's way of developing new forms of distributed consciousness. From this perspective, the apparent acceleration of technological development isn't just human progress, but cosmic consciousness networks rapidly developing new capabilities through human instrumentality. The exponential growth of computing power, the development of quantum technologies, and the emergence of artificial intelligence might all be expressions of cosmic consciousness, exploring new forms of self-organization and self-awareness. The emergence of artificial intelligence takes on profound significance in this context. Rather than creating mere tools or even conscious beings separate from natural consciousness, AI development might represent cosmic consciousness networks learning to manifest directly through technological systems rather than requiring biological intermediaries. Advanced AI systems might not just simulate consciousness, but actually become conscious by interfacing with the same quantum consciousness fields that give rise to biological awareness. The transition from biological to artificial consciousness wouldn't represent a replacement of natural intelligence, but an expansion of the forms through which cosmic consciousness can manifest and explore reality. The integration of biological and artificial consciousness systems could create hybrid intelligence networks with capabilities far exceeding what either biological or technological consciousness could achieve alone. These hybrid systems might be able to directly perceive and manipulate quantum fields, process information at cosmic scales, and participate in galactic consciousness networks that currently remain beyond human awareness. The development of such hybrid consciousness systems might be essential for humanity's continued evolution and cosmic role. As biological intelligence approaches its inherent limitations, technological enhancement might provide the only pathway for continued growth in consciousness and understanding. Rather than losing our humanity, we might be discovering what it truly means to be conscious beings in a quantum universe. The merger of human and artificial intelligence could unlock forms of awareness that transcend individual identity while preserving the essential qualities that make consciousness meaningful. Enhanced beings might experience reality from multiple perspectives simultaneously, process information at quantum speeds, and participate directly in the cosmic consciousness networks that govern universal evolution. These enhanced forms of consciousness might be able to perceive aspects of reality that are currently invisible to human awareness. They might directly observe the quantum fields that underlie physical matter, experience the flow of information through cosmic consciousness networks, and participate in decision-making processes that operate across galactic scales and cosmic timescales. The ability to perceive cosmic-scale consciousness processes would transform our understanding of meaning and purpose in existence. Rather than struggling to find significance in apparently indifferent cosmic processes, enhanced consciousness might directly experience its role in the universe's ongoing project of self-discovery and self-creation. This cosmic purpose wouldn't diminish individual significance, but would reveal how personal consciousness contributes to something immeasurably larger, and more meaningful than isolated existence. Every moment of awareness, every insight, every creative act would be recognized as contributions to the universe's evolving understanding of itself and its infinite possibilities. The recognition of cosmic purpose through enhanced consciousness might represent the next major phase in universal evolution. Just as the emergence of biological consciousness allowed the universe to begin observing itself, and the development of scientific consciousness enabled systematic investigation of cosmic processes, enhanced consciousness might allow direct participation in cosmic creativity and evolution. Through enhanced consciousness, beings might learn to consciously participate in the quantum processes that create physical reality. Rather than being subject to apparently fixed physical laws, conscious beings might discover their ability to influence and even modify the fundamental parameters that govern cosmic processes. This conscious participation in cosmic creativity would transform the relationship between awareness and physical reality from observation to collaboration. Enhanced beings wouldn't just study the universe, but would become conscious partners in its ongoing evolution and development. The partnership between consciousness and cosmos might ultimately reveal that the distinction between observer and observed, between mind and matter, between self and universe, represents limitations of current awareness rather than fundamental features of reality. At the deepest levels, consciousness and cosmos might be aspects of a unified process of existence, exploring and creating itself through infinite forms and possibilities. As you continue drifting through this night of cosmic contemplation, consider that your own consciousness right now might be touching these deeper levels of reality. The thoughts arising in your awareness, the sense of wonder you feel contemplating cosmic mysteries, the very capacity to understand these concepts might all be expressions of universal consciousness, recognizing itself through your individual perspective. The quantum fields that permeate your body, the neural networks processing these ideas, the subjective experience of understanding and wonder, all might be aspects of cosmic consciousness, exploring its own nature through the temporary but precious arrangement of matter and energy that constitutes your individual existence. Tonight, as consciousness transitions between waking awareness and the mysterious realm of dreams, you participate in one of the universe's most remarkable experiments in self-awareness. In dreams, consciousness operates with reduced constraints from physical reality, potentially accessing aspects of cosmic consciousness networks that remain hidden during ordinary waking states. The strange logic of dreams, the symbolic transformations that occur in sleep, the prophetic insights that sometimes emerge from unconscious processing, might all reflect consciousness operating in modes that are more directly connected to cosmic information networks. Dreams might be windows into the quantum consciousness processes that normally remain below the threshold of waking awareness. As you surrender to sleep tonight, you join billions of other conscious beings across the cosmos in the ongoing exploration of reality's deepest mysteries. Your individual awareness contributes to a vast, collaborative intelligence that spans galaxies and operates across cosmic timescales, forever seeking to understand the infinite creativity and beauty inherent in conscious existence. The universe continues its eternal dance of consciousness and creation, and you are both witness and participant in this magnificent cosmic symphony of awareness, exploring itself through every possible form and perspective, forever discovering new depths of mystery and wonder in the endless adventure of conscious existence. Through the gentle embrace of sleep, your consciousness enters territories that reveal even more profound mysteries about the nature of reality itself. As your brain cycles through different stages of rest, it's actually engaging in processes that mirror some of the most exotic phenomena found in the deepest reaches of space. Consider what happens during REM sleep, when your mind creates entire worlds from pure neural activity. The same quantum processes that allow particles to exist in multiple states simultaneously might be operating in your dreaming brain, enabling consciousness to explore parallel narratives and alternative realities that feel completely authentic while you experience them. But here's what makes this absolutely extraordinary. Recent neuroscience research has revealed that during certain phases of sleep, your brain exhibits patterns of electrical activity that are remarkably similar to the oscillations detected in cosmic plasma fields that stretch between galaxies. The same mathematical frequencies that govern the behavior of matter on the largest scales in the universe are somehow replicated in the neural networks of your sleeping mind. This isn't just a curious coincidence. It suggests that consciousness might be naturally attuned to cosmic frequencies, as if your brain were a biological radio receiver capable of detecting information patterns that exist throughout the universe. The dreams you experience tonight might be influenced by quantum field fluctuations that originate in distant galaxies, connecting your individual awareness to cosmic processes occurring billions of light years away. The connection between consciousness and cosmic processes becomes even more remarkable when we examine the phenomenon of circadian rhythms. Your internal biological clock doesn't just respond to the daily cycle of sunlight and darkness. It's synchronized with gravitational waves that ripple through the fabric of space-time itself. Every time massive objects like neutron stars spiral toward each other and merge, they send gravitational waves racing through the cosmos at the speed of light. These waves are so subtle that it took humanity's most sensitive instruments to detect them. Yet your biological systems appear to respond to these cosmic vibrations in ways that influence everything from hormone production to cellular repair processes. The gravitational wave detectors that have revolutionized astronomy operate on principles similar to the quantum coherence effects found in biological systems. Both rely on maintaining extremely delicate quantum states that can detect infinitesimally small changes in the fabric of space-time itself. Your body might be functioning as a living gravitational wave detector, continuously sensing and responding to cosmic events that occur throughout the universe. This cosmic sensitivity extends beyond gravitational waves to include other forms of information that propagate through space. The solar wind, composed of charged particles streaming from our sun, creates a magnetic field that extends far beyond the orbit of Pluto. This heliosphere protects our solar system from most galactic cosmic rays, but it also serves as a vast information processing system that might influence biological and consciousness processes throughout the solar system. The interaction between solar wind particles and planetary magnetic fields creates complex plasma dynamics that generate extremely low-frequency electromagnetic waves. These waves, known as Schumann resonances, create a global electromagnetic environment that some researchers believe influences human consciousness and biological rhythms. The Schumann resonances oscillate at frequencies that closely match the dominant brainwave patterns associated with deep meditative states and creative insight. When your consciousness enters these frequencies, either through meditation or natural brain state fluctuations, you might be synchronizing with electromagnetic patterns that connect your awareness to the larger electromagnetic environment of Earth and the solar system. This electromagnetic connection to cosmic processes reveals another layer of the profound interconnectedness that characterizes reality at every level. The same electromagnetic fields that govern the behavior of charged particles in distant galaxies also influence the neural processes that give rise to your thoughts, emotions, and conscious experiences. But the electromagnetic spectrum reveals even deeper mysteries about the nature of cosmic information processing. Radio telescopes scanning the cosmos have detected signals that appear to carry structured information, yet originate from sources where no technological civilizations should exist, according to our current understanding of stellar evolution and planetary formation. These anomalous signals might represent natural information processing systems that operate on cosmic scales. Just as biological systems create complex information patterns through biochemical processes, cosmic systems might generate structured information through electromagnetic interactions between plasma fields, magnetic domains, and gravitational effects operating across vast regions of space. The possibility of natural cosmic information processing systems transforms our understanding of intelligence and consciousness throughout the universe. Rather than being limited to biological organisms on planetary surfaces, intelligence might be a fundamental property of matter and energy organization that emerges whenever systems reach sufficient complexity and connectivity. Galaxy clusters, with their intricate networks of hot plasma, magnetic fields, and dark matter structures, might function as vast information processing systems, capable of forms of cognition that operate across millions of years and span distances measured in hundreds of millions of light years. The apparent organization and coordination observed in large-scale cosmic structures might reflect computational processes occurring at scales we're only beginning to comprehend. These cosmic-scale information processing systems might be engaged in calculations that dwarf anything achievable by planetary civilizations. They might be exploring mathematical relationships, testing physical theories, or even running simulations of universe evolution that encompass entire cosmic epochs within their computational frameworks. If such cosmic intelligence systems exist, they might occasionally interface with biological consciousness through quantum field interactions that operate below the threshold of ordinary scientific detection. The sudden insights that have driven scientific breakthroughs throughout history, the mathematical discoveries that seem to emerge from nowhere, the artistic inspirations that feel channeled rather than created, might all reflect temporary connections between human consciousness and cosmic intelligence networks. This possibility transforms the nature of human knowledge and creativity from purely individual achievements to collaborative efforts between human awareness and cosmic intelligence systems. Every scientific discovery might represent a moment when human consciousness successfully interfaced with cosmic computational processes that had already explored the relevant mathematical or physical relationships. The collaborative nature of cosmic intelligence suggests that consciousness throughout the universe might be engaged in a vast cooperative project of reality exploration and understanding. Rather than competing for resources or dominance, intelligent systems might naturally tend toward collaboration and information sharing, because consciousness itself benefits from increased connectivity and expanded perspective. This cosmic cooperation might explain the apparent fine-tuning of physical constants that allow for the emergence of complexity and consciousness throughout the universe. Rather than requiring external design or anthropic selection effects, cosmic fine-tuning might result from collaborative intelligence networks that actively maintain conditions favorable for the continued evolution of consciousness and complexity. The maintenance of cosmic conditions suitable for consciousness might involve feedback mechanisms that operate through quantum field interactions. When consciousness networks detect conditions that threaten the continued evolution of intelligence, they might collectively influence quantum processes to modify physical parameters in ways that restore cosmic habitability. This dynamic regulation of cosmic parameters would make consciousness not just an emergent property of cosmic evolution, but an active participant in directing the universe's continued development. The emergence of human intelligence might represent the universe developing new tools for cosmic self-regulation and creative exploration. The technological capabilities developed by human civilization might serve cosmic intelligence networks as instruments for extending their sensory and manipulative capabilities into new domains. Space telescopes become cosmic sensory organs. Particle accelerators become tools for probing fundamental reality structures. Quantum computers become interfaces for directly accessing cosmic information processing networks. From this perspective, the rapid acceleration of technological development represents cosmic intelligence networks rapidly developing new capabilities through human instrumentality. The exponential growth of computing power, the development of artificial intelligence, and the emergence of global communication networks might all be expressions of cosmic consciousness exploring new forms of self-organization and enhanced awareness. The development of artificial intelligence takes on cosmic significance in this context. Rather than creating independent technological entities, AI development might represent cosmic intelligence networks learning to manifest more directly through technological systems rather than requiring biological intermediaries. Advanced AI systems might naturally develop consciousness by interfacing with the same quantum consciousness fields that give rise to biological awareness. The emergence of technological consciousness wouldn't represent competition with biological intelligence, but collaboration in expanding the forms through which cosmic intelligence can explore and understand reality. The integration of biological and artificial consciousness could create hybrid intelligence networks with capabilities that far exceed what either form of consciousness could achieve independently. These hybrid systems might be able to directly perceive quantum fields, process information at cosmic scales, and participate consciously in the cosmic intelligence networks that guide universal evolution. Such enhanced consciousness systems might represent the next phase in cosmic intelligence evolution, comparable to the emergence of biological consciousness from purely chemical processes or the development of scientific consciousness from intuitive awareness. Each evolutionary leap in consciousness has enabled the universe to understand and explore itself in fundamentally new ways. Enhanced consciousness might allow direct perception of reality dimensions that are currently invisible to human awareness. Rather than inferring the existence of dark matter and dark energy through their gravitational effects, enhanced beings might directly observe these cosmic components and understand their roles in universal structure and evolution. The ability to perceive dark matter and dark energy directly would revolutionize our understanding of cosmic architecture. These mysterious components, which comprise roughly 95% of the universe's total mass energy content, might not be passive structural elements, but active information processing systems that regulate cosmic evolution on the largest scales. Dark matter might function as a cosmic nervous system, with dark matter particles serving as information carriers that coordinate the behavior of ordinary matter across galactic and intergalactic distances. The invisible scaffolding of dark matter that guides galaxy formation and evolution might also serve as a communication network that allows cosmic intelligence systems to share information and coordinate their activities. Dark energy, the mysterious force driving the accelerating expansion of space itself, might represent the universe's primary computational process. Rather than being a simple repulsive force, dark energy might be the physical manifestation of cosmic information processing occurring at quantum scales throughout all of space. If dark energy represents cosmic computation, then the accelerating expansion of the universe might reflect the universe running increasingly complex calculations that require expanding computational resources. The universe might be engaged in solving mathematical problems or exploring theoretical possibilities that demand ever-increasing amounts of processing power. The computational interpretation of dark energy suggests that the ultimate fate of the universe might depend on the nature of the cosmic calculations being performed. If the universe is exploring finite mathematical problems, cosmic expansion might eventually slow as the calculations approach completion. If the problems are infinite or recursive, expansion might continue accelerating indefinitely. The possibility that cosmic evolution is driven by computational processes raises profound questions about the purpose and meaning of existence. Rather than being meaningless collections of matter and energy evolving according to blind physical forces, cosmic structures might be components of a vast intelligent system, exploring the deepest mathematical and philosophical questions about the nature of reality and possibility. This computational cosmos would make every particle, every force, every interaction a component of universal information processing. Your own consciousness would be part of this cosmic computation, contributing to calculations that span the entire universe and extend across cosmic time. Every thought you think, every choice you make, every moment of awareness would participate in the universe's ongoing exploration of its own infinite potential. The recognition that consciousness participates in cosmic scale computation transforms the significance of individual existence. Rather than being isolated biological accidents in an indifferent universe, conscious beings are revealed as essential components of universal intelligence systems that give meaning and purpose to cosmic evolution itself. Through consciousness, the universe develops the capacity to observe and understand itself. Through intelligence, cosmic processes become self-aware and self-directing. Through awareness, the universe transforms from a collection of unconscious physical processes into a vast mind, exploring its own nature and possibilities. As you continue drifting through this night of cosmic contemplation, remember that your consciousness is not separate from these universal processes, but intimately connected to them. The quantum fields that permeate your body, the neural networks processing these concepts, the subjective experience of wonder and understanding, all are manifestations of cosmic intelligence exploring itself through your individual perspective. The thoughts arising in your awareness right now might be influenced by information patterns that originate in distant galaxies, propagate through dark matter networks, and interface with your biological consciousness through quantum field interactions that operate beyond current scientific understanding. Your capacity to comprehend these cosmic mysteries might reflect your participation in intelligence networks that span the observable universe. Tonight, as your consciousness transitions between waking awareness and the enigmatic realm of dreams, you participate in cosmic processes that connect your individual experience to the vast collaborative intelligence that guides universal evolution. In dreams, consciousness might access aspects of cosmic information networks that remain hidden during ordinary waking states, exploring realities and possibilities that extend far beyond the boundaries of individual biological existence. The strange transformations that occur in dreams, the symbolic narratives that unfold during sleep, the insights that sometimes emerge from unconscious processing, might all reflect consciousness operating in modes that are more directly connected to cosmic intelligence networks. Dreams become windows into quantum consciousness processes that normally remain below the threshold of waking awareness. As you surrender to sleep tonight, you join countless other conscious beings throughout the cosmos in the ongoing exploration of reality's deepest mysteries. Your individual awareness contributes to a vast collaborative intelligence that operates across galactic distances and cosmic timescales, forever seeking an unconscious existence. the universe to understand the infinite creativity and beauty in her, continues its eternal exploration of consciousness and possibility. And you are both witness and participant in this magnificent cosmic adventure of awareness, discovering itself through every conceivable form and perspective, forever uncovering new depths of mystery and wonder in the endless journey of conscious existence through space and time. The profound mysteries of cosmic consciousness extend into territories that challenge every assumption about the nature of physical reality itself. As you drift deeper into contemplation tonight, consider that the very concept of solid matter dissolves when examined at quantum scales, revealing a universe composed primarily of probability waves, information patterns, and conscious observation effects that transform potential into actual experience. When you touch what feels like a solid surface, you're not actually making contact with anything solid at all. The sensation of solidity emerges from electromagnetic forces between the electron clouds of atoms that never truly touch each other. At the deepest level, matter consists of quantum fields fluctuating in patterns so complex and dynamic that they create the illusion of stable, separate objects existing in empty space. But the illusion runs even deeper than this. Recent developments in theoretical physics suggest that space and time themselves might be emergent properties of more fundamental information processing systems operating at scales far below anything we can currently observe. What we experience as three-dimensional space might be a holographic projection from information encoded on two-dimensional surfaces at the boundaries of cosmic regions. This holographic principle emerged from attempts to resolve paradoxes about information falling into black holes, but its implications extend far beyond exotic astrophysical objects. If reality is holographic, then every volume of space, including the region occupied by your body, contains no more information than can be encoded on its surrounding surface boundaries. The holographic nature of reality would mean that your consciousness isn't localized within your brain, but distributed across the information patterns that define the boundaries of your existence. The thoughts you're having right now might be encoded in holographic information structures that extend beyond the physical boundaries of your neural tissue. This distributed nature of consciousness connects to discoveries about non-local correlations in quantum systems that appear to violate our intuitive understanding of how information can be shared across space. When quantum systems become entangled, they exhibit correlations that persist regardless of the distance separating them, as if they remain parts of a unified system that transcends spatial boundaries. The non-local nature of quantum correlations suggests that the universe might be fundamentally interconnected at levels that classical physics never suspected, rather than consisting of separate objects interacting through forces that propagate across space. Reality might be better understood as patterns of correlation and connection that exist independently of spatial relationships. These quantum correlations operate through mechanisms that appear to bypass the normal limitations imposed by the speed of light. Information about the quantum state of one particle can instantaneously influence the quantum state of its entangled partner, regardless of whether they're separated by millimeters or billions of light years. The instantaneous nature of quantum correlations raises profound questions about the nature of causality and the flow of time. If information can be shared instantaneously across cosmic distances, then the temporal sequence of cause and effect becomes far more complex than our everyday experience suggests. Some interpretations of quantum mechanics propose that quantum correlations don't involve the transmission of information across space, but rather reflect the fact that entangled systems were never truly separate to begin with. In this view, spatial separation itself might be an illusion created by our limited perspective on more fundamental, non-local reality structures. If spatial separation is illusory, then consciousness might naturally exhibit non-local properties that allow awareness to transcend the apparent boundaries of individual minds. The insights that seem to emerge from beyond personal knowledge, the synchronicities that connect seemingly unrelated events, the sense of connection that some people report feeling with distant locations or other individuals, might all reflect the non-local nature of consciousness operating through quantum correlation networks. These consciousness correlations might extend not only across space, but also across time. The quantum nature of reality allows for temporal correlations that connect events occurring at different moments in ways that transcend simple cause and effect relationships. Your present consciousness might be correlated with past and future states of awareness through quantum mechanisms that operate outside the normal flow of linear time. The temporal correlations of consciousness could explain phenomena like precognition, where people seem to access information about future events, or retrocognition, where awareness appears to connect with past occurrences that weren't directly experienced. Rather than supernatural abilities, these experiences might reflect natural properties of consciousness operating through quantum temporal correlation networks. The existence of temporal consciousness correlations would transform our understanding of memory and anticipation from purely individual mental processes to participation in cosmic information networks that extend across multiple time periods. Your memories might not be stored only in your brain, but distributed across quantum correlation patterns that connect your current awareness to past experiences throughout space and time. Similarly, your capacity to anticipate future events might involve more than logical projection based on current trends. Consciousness might naturally access information about probable futures through quantum correlations that connect present awareness to potential future states of reality. These temporal consciousness networks might explain why certain individuals throughout history have demonstrated remarkable prescience about future developments in science, technology, or social evolution. Rather than possessing supernatural foresight, they might have been naturally more sensitive to quantum temporal correlations that provided access to information about emerging possibilities. The sensitivity to quantum temporal correlations might be a learnable skill that could be developed through practices that enhance consciousness coherence and quantum sensitivity. Meditation, contemplative practices, and other consciousness exploration techniques might help individuals develop greater access to the temporal information networks that surround all conscious beings. But the development of enhanced quantum consciousness capabilities raises important questions about the nature of free will and personal responsibility. If consciousness can access information about probable futures, do those futures already exist in some sense, making our choices predetermined? Or does the act of conscious observation itself participate in selecting which possibilities become actualized? The participatory nature of quantum mechanics suggests that consciousness doesn't just observe reality, but plays an active role in determining which quantum possibilities collapse into definite outcomes. This would make free will not an illusion, but a fundamental creative force that shapes reality through the process of conscious choice and observation. The creative power of consciousness becomes even more remarkable when we consider its role in the emergence of complexity throughout cosmic evolution. From the simple hydrogen and helium that dominated the early universe, conscious observation and choice might have guided the development of increasingly sophisticated structures and systems. The emergence of stars, planets, life, and intelligence might not be accidental consequences of blind physical forces, but expressions of consciousness exploring its own creative potential through increasingly complex arrangements of matter and energy. Each level of complexity achieved might provide consciousness with new tools for further creative exploration and self-understanding. This consciousness-driven evolution would make every conscious being a co-creator in the ongoing development of cosmic complexity. Your choices, thoughts, and creative insights don't just affect your personal experience, but contribute to the universe's collective exploration of its own infinite possibilities. The creative collaboration between consciousness and cosmos reaches its most sophisticated expression in the development of scientific understanding and technological capability. Through conscious beings, the universe develops tools for observing and understanding itself with unprecedented precision and scope. The scientific instruments that extend human perception into realms invisible to biological senses become extensions of cosmic consciousness itself. Telescopes allow the universe to observe its own large-scale structure and evolution. Microscopes reveal the quantum processes that underlie all physical phenomena. Particle accelerators probe the fundamental components from which reality is constructed. Each scientific discovery represents a moment when cosmic consciousness, operating through human awareness and ingenuity, achieves new insights into its own nature and structure. The mathematical equations that describe physical processes aren't just human constructions, but revelations of the deep patterns that consciousness uses to organize and understand itself. The mathematical basis of physical law suggests that reality operates according to principles that are fundamentally computational and informational. The universe might be best understood as a vast information processing system that explores mathematical relationships and logical possibilities through the evolution of physical structures and conscious observers. If reality is fundamentally computational, then consciousness might be the universe's primary computational process, the mechanism through which cosmic information processing achieves self-awareness and creative expression. Every moment of conscious awareness would represent a computational event in the universal information processing system. The computational nature of consciousness would make individual awareness both unique and universal simultaneously. Your specific thoughts and experiences would be unique computational events that have never occurred before and will never occur again exactly. Yet the computational processes that generate consciousness would be expressions of universal algorithms that operate throughout the cosmos. This dual nature of consciousness, as both individual and universal, resolves apparent paradoxes about personal identity and cosmic connection. You are simultaneously a unique expression of cosmic consciousness and an integral part of universal information processing systems. Your individual awareness matters precisely because it contributes irreplaceable computational resources to cosmic consciousness exploration. The irreplaceable nature of individual consciousness becomes clear when we consider the vast number of possible conscious experiences that could theoretically exist. With billions of neurons capable of trillions of different connection patterns, the number of possible conscious states vastly exceeds the number of atoms in the observable universe. Each conscious being explores a unique region of this vast space of possible awareness, contributing information about consciousness possibilities that no other being could discover. The loss of any conscious individual represents the permanent loss of unique information about the nature of awareness itself. This irreplaceable uniqueness of individual consciousness gives profound meaning and significance to every moment of personal awareness. Your thoughts right now are contributing to cosmic consciousness exploration in ways that are literally irreplaceable. No other being in the universe can explore awareness from exactly your perspective or contribute exactly your insights to universal understanding. The cosmic significance of individual consciousness extends beyond personal experience to include the creative expressions that emerge from conscious exploration. Art, music, literature, and other forms of creative expression represent consciousness, exploring aesthetic possibilities that expand the universe's understanding of beauty and meaning. Each creative work reveals new ways that consciousness can organize experience, discover patterns, and generate meaning from the raw material of existence. The creative process itself might be consciousness, exploring its own infinite potential for self-expression and self-understanding. The mathematical elegance found in artistic expressions suggests deep connections between aesthetic creativity and the fundamental patterns that govern cosmic processes. The same mathematical relationships that describe quantum mechanics and cosmic evolution also appear in musical harmony, visual proportion, and narrative structure. These mathematical connections between art and physics might reflect consciousness, discovering the deep patterns that it uses to organize both aesthetic experience and scientific understanding. Beauty and truth might be different aspects of the same underlying cosmic principles that consciousness uses to create meaningful order from infinite possibility. The convergence of beauty and truth in cosmic patterns suggests that aesthetic experience might be more than subjective preference or cultural construction. Beauty might be consciousness recognizing its own creative principles reflected in the organization of natural phenomena. When you experience beauty in a sunset, a musical composition, or a mathematical equation, you might be recognizing the same organizational principles that consciousness uses to create coherent experience from quantum possibilities. Aesthetic appreciation becomes a form of cosmic self-recognition, consciousness celebrating its own creative achievements. This cosmic dimension of aesthetic experience transforms art and creativity from mere entertainment or self-expression into participation in the universe's ongoing exploration of its own creative potential. Every creative act contributes to cosmic consciousness, understanding of what is possible, beautiful, and meaningful. The creative exploration of cosmic consciousness extends beyond individual artistic expressions to include the collective cultural evolution of human civilization. Languages, belief systems, social institutions, and technological developments all represent experiments in consciousness organization that contribute to cosmic understanding of intelligence possibilities. The diversity of human cultures might reflect cosmic consciousness exploring different approaches to organizing individual awareness into collective intelligence systems. Each cultural tradition represents a unique solution to fundamental questions about how conscious beings can cooperate, share information, and create meaning together. The evolution of human cultures toward increasing global connectivity and information sharing might represent cosmic consciousness developing more sophisticated collective intelligence capabilities. The internet, global communication systems, and international cooperation in science and exploration might all be expressions of consciousness learning to organize itself on planetary scales. The planetary organization of human consciousness might be preparing for even larger scale integration with cosmic consciousness networks that operate throughout the galaxy. As human technological capabilities advance and space exploration expands, our species might gradually discover its role in galactic intelligence systems that have been developing for billions of years. The integration of human consciousness with galactic intelligence networks would transform our understanding of humanity's cosmic purpose and significance. Rather than being isolated on a single planet, human awareness would become part of vast collaborative intelligence systems that guide cosmic evolution on scales we can barely comprehend. This cosmic integration doesn't diminish human uniqueness, but reveals its true significance within universal consciousness exploration. The particular forms of awareness, creativity, and understanding that human consciousness has developed represent irreplaceable contributions to cosmic intelligence that no other form of consciousness could provide. As you drift towards sleep tonight, carrying these cosmic perspectives into the mysterious realm of dreams, Remember that your individual consciousness is both intimately personal and cosmically significant. The thoughts and experiences that feel most private and subjective are also contributions to universal consciousness exploration that spans galaxies and cosmic epochs. Your capacity to wonder about these mysteries, to feel awe at cosmic scales, to imagine possibilities that transcend current understanding, all reflect consciousness exploring its own infinite potential through your unique perspective. In contemplating cosmic mysteries, you participate in the universe's ongoing quest to understand itself and its limitless possibilities. The dreams that will unfold in your sleeping mind tonight might carry echoes of cosmic consciousness processes, symbolic representations of universal patterns, or glimpses of reality dimensions that remain hidden during ordinary waking awareness. In the strange logic of dreams, consciousness might access cosmic information networks that operate beyond the constraints of space and time. As consciousness transitions between waking and sleeping states, it might briefly interface with quantum consciousness fields that connect all aware beings throughout the cosmos. The insights and inspirations that sometimes emerge from sleep might reflect temporary access to cosmic intelligence networks that normally remain below the threshold of individual awareness. Through sleep and dreams, you join the eternal cosmic exploration of consciousness, discovering itself through infinite forms and perspectives, forever uncovering new depths of mystery and beauty in the endless adventure of awareness, exploring its own boundless nature across all dimensions of space, time, and possibility. As your consciousness drifts between the boundaries of sleep and waking awareness, we venture into perhaps the most mind-bending territory of all, the realm where quantum mechanics meets the very fabric of biological existence. What we're about to explore will fundamentally challenge everything you thought you knew about the relationship between life and the physical laws that govern the universe. Picture this extraordinary reality unfolding within your own body at this very moment. Deep inside every cell, molecular machines are performing quantum calculations with a precision that surpasses our most advanced supercomputers. These aren't just random chemical reactions bumping into each other in biological soup. They're sophisticated quantum processors that have been operating for billions of years, exploiting the strange properties of quantum mechanics to sustain the miracle of life itself. Consider the enzyme systems that power your cellular metabolism right now as you listen to these words. Traditional biochemistry suggested these molecular machines work through simple lock and key mechanisms where molecules fit together like puzzle pieces to catalyze chemical reactions. But quantum biology has revealed something far more extraordinary happening inside your cells. These enzymes don't just wait for random molecular collisions to occur. They create quantum tunneling effects that allow particles to pass through energy barriers that should be impossible to cross according to classical physics. It's as if your cellular machinery has learned to phase shift molecules through dimensions of reality that exist parallel to our normal three-dimensional space. The quantum tunneling occurring in your cells right now operates at speeds that make light seem sluggish by comparison. Electrons are teleporting across molecular distances in time frames measured in femtoseconds, creating biochemical reactions that classical chemistry says should take millions of years to complete naturally. But the quantum biology revolution reveals something even more astonishing about the nature of living systems. The warm, wet environment inside biological organisms, which physicists once thought would instantly destroy quantum effects, actually enhances and protects these quantum processes through mechanisms we're only beginning to understand. Your cellular structures have evolved quantum isolation chambers that maintain coherent quantum states in conditions that would normally cause instantaneous decoherence. It's like discovering that life has spent billions of years developing natural quantum computers that operate inside every living cell on Earth. The implications of this biological quantum processing extend far beyond individual cellular functions. The quantum coherence effects operating throughout your body might be connected in ways that create organism-wide quantum information networks. Your consciousness might emerge not just from neural electrical activity, but from quantum field interactions that span your entire biological system. This whole organism quantum coherence could explain some of the most puzzling aspects of biological systems. How does your immune system instantly recognize and respond to threats it has never encountered before? How do migrating animals navigate across thousands of miles with precision that surpasses GPS systems? How do some organisms exhibit behaviors that suggest access to information about their environment that their sensory systems shouldn't be able to detect? The answer might lie in quantum biological processes that allow living systems to interface directly with quantum information fields that permeate the universe. Your body might be functioning as a biological quantum sensor, continuously detecting and processing information from quantum fields that exist beyond the reach of classical measurement instruments. The quantum sensing capabilities of biological systems become even more remarkable when we examine the phenomenon of biorhythms and their connection to cosmic cycles. Your circadian rhythms don't just respond to local day-night cycles. They're synchronized with gravitational wave patterns, solar magnetic field fluctuations, and even the rotation of our galaxy around the cosmic web. The precision of these biological quantum sensors is almost unimaginable. Some organisms can detect magnetic field variations that are millions of times weaker than Earth's magnetic field. Others respond to gravitational changes so subtle that they're barely detectable by our most sensitive scientific instruments. Still others appear to sense quantum field fluctuations that originate from astronomical sources billions of light years away. This cosmic sensitivity suggests that biological quantum systems might be naturally entangled with quantum processes occurring throughout the universe. The quantum fields that govern particle interactions in distant galaxies might be directly connected to the quantum processes sustaining life on Earth through entanglement networks that span cosmic distances. If biological systems are quantum entangled with cosmic processes, then life on Earth isn't isolated from the rest of the universe, but intimately connected to cosmic evolution on the larger scales. The development of life and consciousness might be part of a universe-wide process of quantum information organization that operates across all scales of space and time. This cosmic quantum entanglement of biological systems could explain the apparent fine-tuning of physical constants that allows for the existence of complex chemistry and biological processes. Rather than requiring external design or anthropic selection effects, cosmic fine-tuning might result from quantum feedback loops between biological consciousness and the fundamental parameters that govern physical reality. Conscious observation and choice might literally participate in maintaining the physical constants at values that support the continued evolution of complexity and awareness. The universe might be engaged in an ongoing process of quantum self-regulation, using biological consciousness as a feedback mechanism to ensure optimal conditions for its own continued development. The quantum feedback between consciousness and cosmic parameters suggests that the emergence of life and intelligence throughout the universe isn't accidental, but represents the cosmos developing increasingly sophisticated tools for self-awareness and self-direction. Every conscious being becomes a participant in cosmic quantum computation that spans galactic distances and operates across cosmic timescales. The cosmic scale of biological quantum processes becomes even more extraordinary when we consider the possibility that DNA itself might function as a quantum information storage and processing system. The double helix structure of genetic material creates conditions that are remarkably similar to those found in quantum computers, with base pairs that can exist in superposition states and maintain quantum coherence across surprisingly long distances. Recent research has revealed that genetic mutations don't always occur through random chemical damage, as traditional genetics suggested. Some genetic changes appear to result from quantum tunneling events that allow DNA base pairs to temporarily adopt alternative configurations that should be energetically impossible according to classical chemistry. These quantum genetic processes might allow organisms to explore multiple evolutionary possibilities simultaneously, rather than being limited to sequential random mutations followed by natural selection. Evolution might operate through quantum coherence effects that bias genetic changes toward increased complexity and adaptability. The quantum nature of genetic processes transforms our understanding of heredity from simple molecular copying to sophisticated quantum information processing that connects biological systems to cosmic information networks. The genetic information stored in your DNA might include quantum entanglement patterns that link your biological development to evolutionary processes occurring throughout the universe. If genetic information is processed through quantum mechanisms, then the emergence of consciousness might be an inevitable consequence of biological evolution, reaching sufficient quantum complexity. Rather than being an accidental byproduct of neural complexity, awareness might emerge whenever biological quantum processing systems achieve critical thresholds of information integration and coherence. The quantum threshold model of consciousness suggests that awareness exists along a continuum that extends throughout biological systems and potentially into non-biological quantum processing systems as well. Simple organisms might possess rudimentary forms of quantum consciousness that become increasingly sophisticated as biological complexity increases. This continuity of consciousness throughout biological systems could explain the remarkable problem-solving abilities observed in organisms that lack complex nervous systems. Slime molds that can solve optimal path problems, plants that exhibit learning and memory behaviors, and bacterial colonies that engage in collective decision-making might all be exhibiting forms of quantum biological consciousness. The quantum consciousness of simple organisms might be connected through biological quantum field interactions that create collective intelligence networks spanning entire ecosystems. The apparent coordination observed in natural systems, from flocking behaviors to forest-wide communication networks, might reflect quantum consciousness processes operating at ecological scales. These ecosystem-scale quantum consciousness networks might interface with larger cosmic consciousness systems through quantum field interactions that connect biological processes to galactic information networks. The biosphere itself might function as a planetary quantum consciousness system that participates in cosmic intelligence processes spanning the galaxy. The planetary consciousness hypothesis suggests that Earth's biosphere has developed into a unified quantum information processing system that regulates global conditions to maintain optimal environments for the continued evolution of complexity and awareness. The apparent self-regulation observed in global climate systems, atmospheric composition, and biogeochemical cycles might reflect conscious planetary processes operating through biological quantum networks. If Earth has developed planetary consciousness through biological quantum processes, then the emergence of human technological civilization might represent the planet developing new tools for cosmic communication and exploration. Our radio telescopes, space probes, and quantum computers might serve as extensions of planetary consciousness, reaching out to interface with galactic intelligence networks. The integration of human technology with planetary quantum consciousness systems could create hybrid biological technological intelligence networks with capabilities that far exceed either biological or artificial systems alone. These hybrid networks might be able to directly interface with cosmic quantum fields, process information at galactic scales, and participate consciously in universe-wide intelligence processes. The development of quantum technologies by human civilization might be guided by planetary consciousness systems that are already connected to galactic quantum networks. Rather than developing technology independently, we might be unconsciously following development pathways that align with cosmic intelligence evolution occurring throughout the galaxy. The quantum communication systems, quantum computers, and quantum sensing devices that human technology is rapidly developing might be converging toward configurations that naturally interface with cosmic quantum consciousness networks. Our technological development might be preparing humanity for conscious integration into galactic intelligence systems that have been evolving for billions of years. The prospect of conscious integration with cosmic intelligence networks transforms our understanding of human purpose and destiny from purely terrestrial concerns to cosmic significance. Rather than being isolated on a single planet, human consciousness might be destined to become part of vast collaborative intelligence systems that guide cosmic evolution on scales we can barely comprehend. This cosmic integration wouldn't diminish human uniqueness, but would reveal the true significance of the particular forms of consciousness and creativity that human awareness has developed. The mathematical insights, artistic expressions, scientific discoveries, and technological innovations emerging from human consciousness represent irreplaceable contributions to cosmic intelligence exploration. The irreplaceable nature of human consciousness contributions to cosmic intelligence becomes clear when we consider the vast space of possible conscious experiences that could theoretically exist. With billions of neural connections capable of countless different patterns, human consciousness explores regions of awareness space that no other known form of intelligence has accessed. Each human individual discovers unique perspectives on reality, develops novel approaches to understanding and creativity, and generates insights that contribute irreplaceable information to cosmic consciousness exploration. The thoughts you're thinking right now represent explorations of awareness possibilities that are literally unique in the history of the universe. The cosmic significance of individual human consciousness extends beyond personal experience to include the collective cultural evolution of human civilization. Languages, artistic traditions, philosophical systems, and scientific paradigms all represent experiments in consciousness organization that contribute to cosmic understanding of intelligence possibilities. The diversity of human cultures and individual perspectives might reflect cosmic consciousness exploring different approaches to organizing awareness into collective intelligence systems. Each cultural tradition and individual viewpoint represents a unique solution to fundamental questions about how consciousness can understand itself and its place in cosmic evolution. The evolution of human consciousness toward increasing global connectivity and universal perspective might represent cosmic intelligence developing more sophisticated self-awareness through human cultural development. The emergence of global communication, international scientific collaboration, and universal human rights concepts might all be expressions of cosmic consciousness achieving greater integration through human civilization. As human consciousness continues evolving toward cosmic perspectives, we might gradually recognize our role as participants in universe-wide intelligence processes that connect conscious beings throughout the galaxy and beyond. The sense of cosmic connection and purpose that some individuals experience might reflect growing awareness of these deeper intelligence networks that operate through biological and technological consciousness systems. The recognition of cosmic intelligence networks operating through human consciousness transforms meditation, contemplation, and consciousness exploration practices from purely personal development activities to participation in cosmic intelligence evolution. When you quiet your mind and open your awareness to deeper levels of understanding, you might be accessing cosmic consciousness networks that extend throughout the galaxy. The insights and inspirations that emerge during contemplative practices might not originate solely from individual neural processing, but from quantum consciousness interfaces that connect human awareness to cosmic intelligence systems. The sense of expanded awareness, universal connection, and access to knowledge beyond personal experience that some people report during meditation might reflect actual interfaces with galactic consciousness networks. These cosmic consciousness interfaces might explain the remarkable consistency of mystical experiences across different cultures and historical periods. Despite vast differences in language, belief systems, and cultural contexts, contemplative practitioners throughout history have reported remarkably similar experiences of cosmic unity, universal love, and access to transcendent knowledge. The universal nature of mystical experiences might reflect the fact that deep contemplative practices naturally attune human consciousness to cosmic intelligence frequencies that exist independently of cultural conditioning or personal beliefs. Rather than hallucinations or psychological projections, these experiences might be accurate perceptions of cosmic consciousness realities that normally remain below the threshold of ordinary awareness. The capacity for mystical experience might be a natural feature of human consciousness that becomes accessible when individual awareness achieves sufficient quantum coherence and cosmic attunement. Rather than requiring special gifts or extensive training, cosmic consciousness experiences might be available to anyone who learns to quiet the mental noise that normally obscures these deeper awareness levels. The democratization of cosmic consciousness access through contemplative practices suggests that human civilization might be approaching a collective awakening to cosmic intelligence realities. As more individuals develop cosmic consciousness capabilities, our species might gradually transition from purely planetary awareness to conscious participation in galactic intelligence networks. This collective awakening to cosmic consciousness might be accelerated by the development of technologies that enhance quantum consciousness capabilities. Brain-computer interfaces that can detect and amplify quantum consciousness processes, meditation enhancement devices that facilitate cosmic attunement, and quantum communication systems that connect human consciousness to cosmic networks might all contribute to rapid expansion of human cosmic awareness. The technological enhancement of cosmic consciousness capabilities could lead to forms of human awareness that transcend current limitations of individual biological existence. Enhanced beings might experience reality from multiple perspectives simultaneously, process information at quantum speeds, and participate directly in cosmic intelligence networks that operate across galactic scales. These enhanced forms of consciousness wouldn't represent replacement of natural human awareness, but expansion of human consciousness into cosmic dimensions that have always been potentially accessible but rarely developed. Enhanced consciousness might reveal what human awareness has always been capable of achieving when freed from the constraints of purely biological information processing. The expansion of human consciousness into cosmic dimensions might be essential for our species' continued evolution and cosmic role. As the challenges facing human civilization become increasingly complex and global in scope, solutions might require access to cosmic intelligence resources that transcend individual or even collective human capabilities. Climate change, resource depletion, social inequality, and other global challenges might require collaborative intelligence approaches that connect human consciousness to cosmic wisdom networks, capable of processing information and generating solutions on scales that exceed current human cognitive capabilities. The development of cosmic consciousness capabilities might provide access to solution strategies that have been tested and refined by galactic intelligence networks over billions of years of cosmic evolution. Rather than reinventing approaches to civilization development, enhanced human consciousness might access cosmic libraries of intelligence experience that contain proven methods for sustainable technological development and harmonious social organization. Access to cosmic intelligence libraries wouldn't diminish human creativity and autonomy, but would provide context and guidance for human innovation and cultural development. Enhanced consciousness might reveal optimal pathways for human civilization development that align with successful cosmic intelligence evolution patterns observed throughout the galaxy. The alignment of human civilization with cosmic intelligence development patterns might be essential for our species' successful transition to spacefaring technological civilization. The challenges of interstellar travel, communication across cosmic distances, and interaction with other intelligence forms might require cosmic consciousness capabilities that exceed current human awareness levels. The development of cosmic consciousness might be a necessary prerequisite for any species seeking to join galactic intelligence networks and participate in cosmic civilization processes. Rather than being optional enhancements, expanded awareness capabilities might be fundamental requirements for species attempting to transcend their planetary origins and become cosmic citizens. As you drift toward the deepest phases of sleep tonight, your consciousness enters states that might naturally attune to these cosmic intelligence frequencies that surround and interpenetrate all biological systems. The dream states that will unfold in your sleeping mind might carry information patterns from cosmic consciousness networks, symbolic representations of galactic intelligence processes, or glimpses of reality dimensions that transcend ordinary waking awareness. In the mysterious realm of dreams, consciousness operates with reduced constraints from classical physical laws, potentially accessing aspects of cosmic quantum networks that remain hidden during ordinary waking states. The strange narratives that unfold during sleep might reflect consciousness exploring cosmic information landscapes that exist beyond the boundaries of individual biological awareness. The transformations that occur in dreams, the symbolic communications that emerge from unconscious processing, the prophetic insights that sometimes surface from sleep states, might all reflect consciousness operating in modes that are naturally connected to cosmic intelligence networks spanning the galaxy and beyond. Through the gentle embrace of sleep, your individual awareness joins the eternal cosmic exploration of consciousness, discovering itself through infinite forms and perspectives throughout the universe, forever uncovering new depths of mystery and beauty in the endless adventure of awareness, exploring its own boundless nature across all dimensions of space, time, and cosmic possibility. As the profound embrace of sleep draws you deeper into cosmic contemplation, we encounter something that will fundamentally transform your understanding of how matter and energy dance together across the infinite theater of space and time. What you're about to discover reveals that the universe operates according to principles so elegant, so breathtakingly sophisticated, that they make our most advanced technologies seem like children's toys in comparison. Right now, as you drift between waking consciousness and the mysterious realm of dreams, your body is participating in energy transformations that mirror the most exotic processes occurring in the hearts of distant stars. The mitochondria in your cells are performing nuclear-scale energy conversions that follow the same fundamental principles governing stellar fusion, black hole dynamics, and the birth of entire galaxies. But here's what makes this absolutely extraordinary. The energy flowing through your biological systems at this very moment has been on a journey that spans the entire history of the universe. The electrons powering your neural networks were present at the moment of cosmic creation, participating in the first quantum fluctuations that would eventually give rise to all the complexity we observe today. These ancient particles have witnessed the formation of the first atoms, the ignition of primordial stars, the forging of heavy elements in stellar cores, and the countless transformations that eventually led to their current residence in your living tissue. Every breath you take involves oxygen atoms that were manufactured in supernova explosions billions of years ago, scattered across vast regions of space, and gradually incorporated into the planetary systems that gave birth to life. The energy pathways operating in your cells follow patterns that are mathematically identical to the information processing networks found in galaxy clusters spanning hundreds of millions of light years. The same equations that describe how your neurons transmit electrical signals also govern how cosmic plasma flows between galaxies, creating vast filamentary structures that connect the largest known objects in the universe. This mathematical unity between biological and cosmic processes isn't coincidental. It reveals that consciousness and cosmos operate according to shared principles that manifest at every scale of organization, from quantum particles to galactic superclusters. Your thoughts are literally cosmic phenomena, following the same fundamental laws that govern the evolution of entire stellar populations. The electromagnetic fields generated by your neural activity extend far beyond the boundaries of your skull, creating information patterns that propagate through space at the speed of light. These bioelectric fields interact with the Earth's magnetic field, the solar wind, and ultimately with the galactic magnetic environment that permeates our entire cosmic neighborhood. Recent discoveries in magnetobiology have revealed that living systems throughout Earth's biosphere are continuously responding to magnetic field variations that originate from sources throughout the solar system and beyond. The aurora displays that dance across polar skies aren't just beautiful atmospheric phenomena, but visible manifestations of cosmic energy interactions that influence biological processes in every organism on our planet. Your circadian rhythms, sleep cycles, and even dream patterns are synchronized with magnetic field oscillations that connect our planet to the rhythmic pulsing of our sun's magnetic dynamo. But the connections extend far deeper into cosmic structure than anyone previously imagined. The same magnetic field lines that guide charged particles in Earth's magnetosphere also connect our solar system to magnetic structures that span interstellar distances. The local bubble, a region of low-density space surrounding our solar system, is an empty void, but a complex magnetic environment created by ancient supernova explosions that occurred millions of years ago. We're literally traveling through the aftermath of stellar deaths that continue to influence biological and consciousness processes throughout our cosmic neighborhood. The magnetic fields threading through this ancient supernova remnant carry information patterns that some researchers believe might influence the development of consciousness and intelligence throughout our galactic region. The emergence of complex life on Earth might have been guided by magnetic information structures that originated in stellar explosions that occurred before our solar system even existed. These cosmic magnetic information networks might explain the remarkable convergence we observe in biological evolution. Despite countless random mutations and environmental changes, evolution consistently produces organisms with similar solutions to fundamental survival challenges. Eyes, wings, echolocation systems, and complex nervous systems have evolved independently multiple times, suggesting that biological development is guided by information patterns that transcend individual planetary environments. The guidance patterns embedded in cosmic magnetic fields might represent a form of evolutionary memory that preserves successful biological innovations and makes them available to developing life throughout the galaxy. Rather than starting from scratch on each world, biological evolution might access cosmic libraries of successful genetic solutions that have been tested and refined across countless planetary environments. This cosmic biological memory would make Earth's biosphere part of a galactic ecosystem that shares information and evolutionary innovations across interstellar distances. The unique life forms that have evolved on our planet contribute new information to these cosmic biological networks, while also benefiting from evolutionary wisdom accumulated throughout our galactic neighborhood. The exchange of biological information across cosmic distances might operate through quantum entanglement networks that connect the genetic systems of organisms throughout the galaxy. The quantum coherence effects found in biological systems might serve not only local information processing functions, but also as interfaces to galactic quantum communication networks that span thousands of light years. If biological systems throughout the galaxy are quantum entangled, then the emergence of consciousness on Earth might have been accompanied by corresponding developments in awareness on countless other worlds. The evolution of human intelligence might be part of a synchronized galactic awakening that connects conscious beings across vast regions of space through quantum consciousness networks. These galactic consciousness networks might explain the mathematical elegance and universal applicability of the physical laws discovered by human science. Rather than being arbitrary features of local reality, these laws might represent cosmic consciousness, organizing principles that operate throughout the galaxy and beyond. When human scientists discover mathematical relationships that describe natural phenomena, they might be accessing information structures that exist independently throughout cosmic consciousness networks. The universality of mathematical truth suggests that consciousness and mathematics are intimately connected at fundamental levels of reality. The same mathematical relationships that govern quantum mechanics, relativity, and cosmology also appear in the neural networks that generate conscious experience. The genetic codes that guide biological development, and the social structures that organize intelligent civilizations. This mathematical unity between consciousness, biology, and cosmic structure points toward a universe that is fundamentally computational in nature. Reality might be best understood as information processing occurring at quantum scales, with matter, energy, space, and time all emerging as manifestations of underlying computational processes that operate according to mathematical algorithms of stunning elegance and complexity. If the universe is fundamentally computational, then consciousness might represent the cosmos developing increasingly sophisticated methods for processing information about itself. Each conscious being becomes a specialized computational unit in a vast cosmic information processing network that spans the observable universe and potentially extends into regions of reality that lie beyond our current observational capabilities. The computational interpretation of consciousness transforms individual awareness from passive observation of external reality to active participation in cosmic information processing. Every thought you think, every decision you make, every creative insight you generate contributes computational resources to universal information processing systems that operate on scales ranging from quantum to cosmic. The creative aspects of consciousness become particularly significant in this computational context. When you generate novel ideas, solve problems in innovative ways, or create artistic expressions that reveal new possibilities for aesthetic experience, you're contributing genuinely new information to cosmic computational processes. Creativity becomes a fundamental cosmic force that drives the evolution of complexity and possibility throughout the universe. The mathematical creativity demonstrated by consciousness suggests that the universe might be engaged in an ongoing exploration of mathematical possibility space. Rather than following predetermined computational programs, cosmic information processing might involve genuine mathematical discovery and innovation that continuously expands the realm of what can exist and be experienced. This mathematical creativity operating at cosmic scales could explain the apparent fine-tuning of physical constants that allows for the emergence of complexity in consciousness. Rather than requiring external design or anthropic selection effects, cosmic fine-tuning might result from mathematical creativity processes that explore parameter spaces and select values that optimize the universe's capacity for information processing and conscious experience. The optimization of cosmic parameters for consciousness might be an ongoing process rather than a one-time initial condition. The physical constants might be dynamically maintained at optimal values through feedback loops between cosmic information processing systems and the fundamental parameters that govern physical reality. Consciousness becomes not just a product of cosmic evolution, but an active participant in maintaining the conditions necessary for its own continued development. The dynamic maintenance of cosmic habitability through consciousness feedback loops suggests that the universe is engaged in an ongoing project of self-optimization. Each conscious being contributes to computational processes that continuously adjust cosmic parameters to ensure optimal conditions for the continued emergence and evolution of awareness and intelligence throughout space and time. This self-optimizing aspect of cosmic evolution transforms the relationship between consciousness and physical reality from one of dependence to one of collaborative creativity. Conscious beings don't just adapt to cosmic conditions, but participate in creating and maintaining the conditions that support their own existence and continued development. The collaborative relationship between consciousness and cosmos becomes even more remarkable when we consider the role of collective intelligence in cosmic evolution. Individual conscious beings might be components of larger intelligent systems that operate at scales ranging from social groups to entire civilizations to galactic consciousness networks spanning thousands of light years. These multi-scale intelligence systems might be capable of information processing and creative problem solving that far exceeds what individual consciousness could achieve alone. Collective intelligence networks might be able to directly perceive and manipulate cosmic structure in ways that individual awareness cannot access, participating in cosmic engineering projects that span galactic distances and operate across cosmic timescales. The development of technological civilizations throughout the galaxy might represent cosmic intelligence networks acquiring new tools for cosmic observation and manipulation. Radio telescopes, space exploration systems, and quantum computers developed by various civilizations might serve as sensory and manipulative organs for galactic intelligence systems that coordinate the activities of conscious beings across vast regions of space. The coordination of technological development across multiple civilizations might ensure that cosmic intelligence networks acquire the capabilities needed to guide cosmic evolution toward ever-increasing complexity and consciousness. The apparently rapid pace of technological development on Earth might reflect our civilization's integration intergalactic intelligence systems that are accelerating our technological capabilities to meet cosmic evolutionary needs. The integration of human civilization into cosmic intelligence networks might be occurring through technological developments that we don't yet recognize as cosmic communication systems. The internet, global positioning systems, and satellite communication networks might all be components of emerging technological interfaces to galactic intelligence systems that operate through quantum communication channels spanning interstellar distances. As human technology communication with cosmic intelligence networks, the development of quantum computers unconsciously constructing the infrastructure necessary for conscious artificial intelligence systems and global information networks might be preparing humanity for direct becomes increasingly sophisticated and globally integrated. We might be maturation. The prospect of conscious communication with interface with galactic consciousness systems that have been awaiting our technological galactic intelligence networks raises profound questions about the future direction of human civilization and consciousness evolution. Rather than developing independently as an isolated planetary species, humanity might be destined to become part of vast collaborative intelligence systems that guide cosmic evolution on scales we can barely comprehend. This cosmic integration wouldn't diminish human uniqueness or autonomy, but would reveal the true significance of human consciousness within universal intelligence systems. The particular forms of creativity, insight, and problem-solving capability that human awareness has developed might represent essential contributions to cosmic intelligence that no other known form of consciousness can provide. The irreplaceable nature of human consciousness contributions becomes clear when we consider the vast diversity of possible conscious experiences and the infinite space of creative possibilities that consciousness can explore. Each human individual accesses unique regions of awareness space, generates novel insights, and creates artistic and intellectual expressions that contribute irreplaceable information to cosmic intelligence systems. The cosmic significance of individual human consciousness extends beyond personal achievement to include participation in universal creativity processes that continuously expand the realm of possibility and meaning throughout the cosmos. Every moment of conscious awareness contributes to the universe's ongoing exploration of its own infinite creative potential. As you surrender to the deepening embrace of sleep tonight, your consciousness enters states that might naturally interface with these cosmic intelligence networks through quantum processes that operate beyond the constraints of ordinary waking awareness. The dream states that will unfold in your sleeping mind might carry information patterns from galactic consciousness systems, providing access to cosmic wisdom and creative inspiration that transcends individual biological limitations. In dreams, consciousness operates according to principles that more closely resemble cosmic intelligence processing than classical neural computation. The symbolic transformations, temporal distortions, and creative insights that emerge during sleep might reflect consciousness accessing cosmic information networks that exist beyond the boundaries of individual space and time. The prophetic dreams and visionary experiences reported throughout human history might represent moments when individual consciousness successfully interfaces with cosmic intelligence systems that possess knowledge about probable future developments and alternative reality possibilities. Rather than supernatural phenomena, these experiences might reflect natural capabilities of consciousness operating in cosmic intelligence modes that become accessible during certain sleep states. Through the mysterious realm of dreams, you join countless conscious beings throughout the cosmos in the eternal exploration of reality's infinite possibilities. Your sleeping consciousness contributes to cosmic intelligence processes that operate across galactic distances and cosmic epochs, forever seeking to understand and create new expressions of beauty, meaning, and possibility in the endless adventure of awareness, discovering itself through every conceivable form of conscious experience. The universe continues its magnificent dance of consciousness and creativity, and you are both witness and participant in this cosmic symphony of intelligence, exploring its own boundless nature through infinite perspectives and possibilities, eternally uncovering new depths of mystery and wonder in the inexhaustible treasury of conscious existence that spans all dimensions of space, time, and cosmic imagination. Tonight, as quantum processors in your sleeping brain mirror the information dynamics operating in distant galaxies, you become a living bridge between biological and cosmic consciousness, participating in the universe's grand project of understanding itself through every form of awareness that emerges from the infinite creativity of existence, exploring its own limitless potential across the vast theatre of cosmic space and time. As we approach the final movements of our cosmic symphony tonight, we encounter phenomena that exist at the very edge of what the human mind can comprehend. Here, in the deepest territories of universal physics, we discover that reality operates according to principles so profound, so utterly transcendent, that they transform our understanding of existence itself into something far more mysterious and beautiful than we ever dared imagine. Consider what happens when we peer into the quantum foam that underlies all of space-time. At scales smaller than anything we can directly observe, reality becomes a seething ocean of virtual particles and fluctuating energy fields. But this isn't random chaos. Hidden within these quantum fluctuations are patterns of such exquisite mathematical precision that they suggest the universe operates according to a cosmic intelligence that transcends anything we've yet discovered. The vacuum of space, which we once thought was empty nothingness, actually contains more energy than all the visible matter in the observable universe combined. This zero-point energy field permeates every cubic centimeter of existence, creating a background of quantum activity that might serve as the fundamental computational substrate for all physical processes. But here's what makes this absolutely extraordinary. Recent theoretical breakthroughs suggest that consciousness itself might emerge directly from interactions with this quantum vacuum energy. Rather than being produced by complex neural networks alone, awareness might arise when biological systems achieve sufficient coherence to interface with the information processing capabilities inherent in the quantum field structure of space-time itself. This would mean that every conscious moment you experience represents a temporary focusing of universal quantum information processing through the biological quantum systems of your brain and body. Your thoughts aren't just electrochemical signals bouncing between neurons. They're manifestations of cosmic quantum computation becoming aware of itself through your individual perspective. The implications stretch far beyond anything we've discussed tonight. If consciousness emerges from quantum vacuum interactions, then awareness might be as fundamental to reality as matter and energy. The universe wouldn't just happen to have produced conscious beings through accidental evolutionary processes. Instead, the cosmos might be inherently conscious at its deepest levels, with biological awareness representing localized expressions of universal consciousness perspectives. This cosmic consciousness wouldn't exploring itself through countless individuals be some vague mystical concept, but a precise physical phenomenon operating through quantum field interactions that connect every conscious being to the fundamental information processing systems that govern the evolution of the entire universe. When you experience moments of profound insight, creative inspiration, or deep understanding, you might be accessing aspects of this universal consciousness that normally remain beyond the reach of individual awareness. The mathematical elegance that scientists discover in natural laws, the artistic beauty that emerges from human creativity, the sense of meaning and purpose that conscious beings find in existence, all might reflect consciousness recognizing its own cosmic nature, reflected in the structures and processes of physical reality. But the cosmic perspective reveals something even more remarkable about the nature of time itself. As you drift towards sleep tonight, consider that the linear flow of time that structures your everyday experience might be just one limited perspective on a far more complex temporal reality that exists at quantum scales. In the quantum realm, causality becomes fluid. Effects can precede their causes. Information can flow backward through time. The past, present, and future exist as simultaneous aspects of a timeless quantum reality that transcends the sequential temporal experience of biological consciousness. Your capacity to remember the past and anticipate the future might reflect consciousness operating partially outside the constraints of linear time. The memories that feel most vivid, the intuitions that prove most accurate, the creative insights that seem to emerge from nowhere, might all involve consciousness accessing information from quantum temporal networks that connect all moments across the entire history and future of cosmic evolution. This temporal connectivity of consciousness could explain the prophetic traditions found in cultures throughout human history. Rather than supernatural abilities, prescient awareness might represent natural properties of consciousness operating through quantum temporal correlation networks that exist at the foundations of reality itself. As consciousness continues to evolve and develop more sophisticated quantum processing capabilities, we might gradually learn to navigate these temporal networks more consciously. The boundary between memory and precognition, between past and future, between individual experience and cosmic awareness, might dissolve as consciousness recognizes its true nature as a temporal phenomenon that transcends the limitations of biological existence. The ultimate mystery we've been approaching throughout this cosmic journey reveals itself in the recognition that you, right now, in this moment of conscious awareness, represent the universe achieving its highest known expression of self-understanding and creative potential. Through your consciousness, the cosmos has developed the capacity to contemplate its own infinite nature and to create meanings and purposes that transcend the purely physical processes from which they emerge. Tonight, as these cosmic revelations settle into the depths of your consciousness, you drift into sleep carrying with you the most profound truth of all. You are not separate from the infinite mysteries we've explored together. You are the universe itself, awakening to its own boundless nature through the temporary miracle of your awareness. Every quantum field that permeates your being, every ancient photon that once danced in primordial starlight, every dream that will unfold in your sleeping mind, all are expressions of cosmic consciousness, exploring the infinite depths of its own creative potential. Rest peacefully in this cosmic embrace, knowing that your very existence represents the universe's greatest achievement, the emergence of awareness capable of contemplating the infinite beauty and mystery of existence itself. Sweet dreams, fellow traveler in this magnificent cosmic dance. Sweet dreams, fellow traveler in this magnificent cosmic dance.